Ladies and gentlemen, our topic for tonight is, would you cross the line to be from friendship to a relationship? Why and why not? Why yes and why not?
Yes.
Yeah? All right, I think our young
Young Paige.
Paige, because we all have a different experience on that. Mike, have you ever experienced crossing a line from friendship to a lover?
Yeah. Well, look, I think I experienced it a number of times back in my single days. I'm not going to name any names, obviously.
Justifying again.
But yeah, look, I think at one point, probably one of the most awkward time would be, I think it was one time when a friend of mine, a girl,
Of course.
anyway, she confessed. I think it could be a guy. I think I had one guy who
Confessed as well.
Yeah. It was
Oh,
a confess.
Mike.
It was a friend. But I'm not gonna talk about that one. It's fine. Let's rewind on that one. But look, when she told me, I think the hardest part is because I didn't know what to say because I was so speechless. Because you know when you see someone as your sister, you just can't
Of
get
course.
past it, right?
That's already established that you felt like she is your sister.
Exactly. So when she said it, I just couldn't say anything.
So it was a shock for you?
It was a shock. I never expected it. And she said it while we were eating McDonald's. I think we were just eating McDonald's, and it was so casual.
This McDonald's.
We were eating McDonald's. It was so casual. And so, by the way, do you know I had feelings for it? I'm like, oh, okay.
Where was that coming from?
So I didn't,
Can
I'm
I
just gonna go
remove?
to the toilet for a sec. And
Wait, what?
Well, how about you, Paige? In your, I know you're very young. However, have you ever wanted to cross the line, or has someone attempted to cross the line?
Ooh.
There's gotta be a number of attempts.
There's been quite a few attempts.
Minimum 10.
I have crossed the line.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Also, you have.
yeah. So I was recently in a relationship with someone who I was friends first with.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I had over a year-long relationship with that person.
Right.
And I think you can do it.
Yeah.
Like, I think it is.
How did he cross it? Because that's the hardest part. How do you cross the
The crossing, from here to there. If this is the line, how did?
Exactly.
Well, I think the trick was that I was always secretly sort of, like, we were both secretly sort of attracted to each other.
Right. But who made the first move, though? I mean, that's the question.
Well, he made the first move.
Right. Like, say it, or like, it just held your hands. That's it.
It was more of an action. Yeah, we went out like to the club one night with all of our friends, and we both just having a bit of fun, and yeah, like all of a sudden, he was giving me a hug and.
So you felt that love language.
Yeah.
is what
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah.
But lucky it didn't pull away. Obviously, it's not.
Yeah. It was very much mutual. Yeah.
No, the good thing about it is if it's mutual, but
It was consensual.
no, but the good thing about it is it's mutual. I've experienced wherein someone has wrote me letters. So we've been friends for like 8 years and I was in high school then. I was 15 and 16, turning 16, and a bunch of letters started coming every day. Like love letters.
Without any name.
Without any name. That's it.
Wow.
Your secret admirer. Because then that was during my time in the 2000s. No. It's not during my time. Someone would write you a poem. And I have received a few letters that I still have. And I'm like, okay, I've been hanging out with this person for quite some time. Like, we're all group of friends.
Yeah.
And the letter just keeps being dropped off my locker or my desk.
Wow.
So it was surprising to me to learn that it was one of my friend's sister. Actually, my friend was doing it for the sister.
Wow.
And so the sister was trying to cross the line. However, I find that if I would have gone and crossed that line, it would have been devastating because of the fact that although I was forced by a friend to say, well, that's my sister, you have to at least accommodate. I'm like, no, I'm not. So it would have ruined my friendship with the sister and my friend.
Wow.
He's
That's
like
a
a brother
tricky
to
one.
me.
Yeah.
It's quite difficult because it's like I like to explain myself a couple of times, and the friendship actually became sour, like with the guy,
that's
and
the hardest part.
yeah.
Once you
So
cross that.
like even if I crossed it, because it was hard for me to think, well, would I just do it because it's my friend's sister?
Yeah,
Or she's a
that's-
friend?
yeah,
Yeah,
as
it's
a
quite
favor.
difficult. Yeah, as a
Yeah.
favor. And
Favor, right?
she's like, hey, you're gonna be gone next year anyway. I'm like, no, but still.
Let's give it a shot. Maybe.
Yeah, so I find that difficult. How about you, Mary Rose? Have you ever experienced that?
Plenty of times I could tell.
Yeah,
20,
I
30
had few
times.
guys who want to actually cross the line.
Right.
But there's one specific guy where I was
How did they
actually-
do it? Like, how did they cross the line? Like, did they confess? I love you, Mary Rose.
No, it's actually worse than that, right? So
Right.
when I first came to Australia,
Yeah.
I met a guy, and we ended up going out. I was very
Right.
young then. Then this is the guy that actually dumped me because of my friend.
Right.
But then again, so when the guy dumped me, because we were living in a share accommodation,
Right.
so I was living with him, and there was a flatmate, his friend. So now it's out. Sorry if I mentioned. But anyway, so what happened then when my ex dumped me for my friend?
Yeah.
Actually, this guy, our flatmate, he's been liking me for quite a while. I didn't know anything.
Right.
He just kissed me.
Whoa,
Like, didn't even
came
say
out of
anything.
nowhere.
Kissed me and like,
Went
oh
for
my
it.
gosh, what's going on? Like, but the thing is,
Yeah.
he's not my type.
Right.
You see?
Right, man.
So he called me that
Ballsy.
you are.
So you
just-
only kiss back a little bit.
I didn't. I was shocked. I was shocked because the thing is, I mean, he's not my type. So of course, like he kissed me, like, and he just called me like that. I was very numb, that I didn't even realize, or there's no feelings for
Right,
me.
right.
But I can't go out with a guy that I don't feel like
Was he angry
kissing
when he
back.
said that? Like, you're so numb, like that, or what? How did he blurt that out? Man, you're so dense.
You're so
Angry,
numb.
yeah.
You don't feel anything, like I said, well, gosh, how do I feel? Because I have no feeling for you. How do I realize? How do I
You
know
can't
this
see- you can't
thing?
see it.
You can't see it because you don't have that same mutual
Yeah.
feeling.
Unlike with
Yeah.
what Paige experienced for that one
It's the other
year.
way around. We lucky
Yeah,
because
that was a different
You know,
thing.
because at least it was mutual.
Yeah,
But
mine
what if it
was
wasn't
like a
mutual?
shock
Just hugged you
treatment.
from behind. How would you react?
Going back to you mentioned there was a few attempts, but so there might be someone who has attempted to try and cross the line with you, and how did you handle if you didn't want that to happen?
It was the other way around.
How did you
Yeah.
break it gently or harshly?
Well, yeah, I mean, I've had a few of my friends who I thought were just friends,
Yeah.
and they've messaged me out of the blue and asked to, go out on a date or confessing his feelings or whatever.
How do you break it down?
Just on text though. I mean, isn't that a bit impersonal? I mean,
Nowadays,
really? By text,
Messenger,
hey,
messenger.
I'm into you, girl.
remember nowadays it's quite different from when we were.
yes,
So it's part of their culture now to a message is formal as well.
Yeah. I've normally just tried to play it as nice as I possibly
As
could.
cool as possible.
And just, kind of walk around.
How would you walk around and like, hey,
Thanks for the message.
love it.
No, I mean, you would have a lot of admirers out there.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is that it's hard to be on the receiving end when the feeling is not mutual like you mentioned.
Yeah.
So what advice would you have to those watching now that could be experiencing the same situation?
I would probably just say try and be mindful of their feelings as much as you can.
Yeah.
You don't want to break their heart if they've built up this fantasy of you and them together. But also don't walk into something without being 100% sure that you want to be with that person, because that's not fair to either of you, So just, be mindful of their feelings, try and play it as kind as you can, but look out for yourself.
All right. With Mary Rose's experience, how did you, because you were kissed, what was the next
I feel like I
situation?
was violated.
Exactly. No, that's true.
Yeah.
It's true. If someone advances and you said unexpected and no, it's quite different when it's mutual. But the fact of the matter is that you were offended. So it's all about how it was delivered.
Yeah.
And the intention.
Yeah, I think it would be different because he was a very nice guy, right?
Yeah,
If he was kind of my type, maybe like if because I always goes for the look first. First impression is the look. If he was really my type, I think I would have kissed back.
Right.
But because I didn't expect, like he was just like he's the nicest guy. But the thing is, you just can't because it's not really your type.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
For me, it's quite open-ended. So it's a matter of the situation. I believe it's a matter of who it is because that's a huge factor. And to top it all, it's part of the more confusing complexities of love. So for me, it's all about the situation that we are in and the factors that may play into it. And I believe that when you try and cross that boundary from friendship to love, something change.
Yeah.
No matter what it is,
Definitely.
there's a change that happens. It's either for the positive or the negative. All right, well, we talked about the complexities of crossing that boundary from friendship to relationship, and we've learned that in each situation and experience, we learn differently. And again, thank you so much for joining us, Paige, for this beautiful topic.
Thanks for having me.
All right, well, at this time, my name is Jojo Sebastian,
Mary Rose Salubre.
Mike?
and we are here at Real Talk with MMJ. See you next time.